Welcome back to Axis and Allies, the anniversary edition. We are on to Japan's turn. And they have 35 IPCs to spend, and they're getting pretty aggressive, of course. So let's figure out what it is they're going to spend their 35 IPCs on for production this time. Now, they do have a factory down here in Burma where they can put 2 units as well to keep that in mind. So let's figure out what they're going to be manufacturing this time. Alright, so for Japan's 35 IPCs, they're going to replace their carrier for 14, 10 for another aircraft, 2 infantry, and an artillery, armored unit. Is that a good idea? I don't know, but that's what they're building. So there we go. That's Japan with their production. Of course, the UK will have something to say about all this on their next turn. So that's what Japan will be purchasing. Let's figure out what they're going to do for aggressive moves. And yeah, so let's get to that. Alright, in the far north, Japan is making a press once more into Soviet Union territory. They got 2 artillery, 3 infantry pressing in here. So that's going to be 1 attack, and they do have another big one lined up. Ah yes, the contest for Borneo. So in this space, they will be using their battleship and their cruiser. They're going to launch the 2 aircraft to attack Borneo. So they will be able to go 3 after this. So not in the battle will be the destroyer. We have 3 transports here, which are not going to be involved in the battle. So I'm going to put the non-combat move vehicles over. No, we are going to be using these ones. Oh, okay. We're not using this. So what we're going to do is 1 transport here is going to go into this water space, pick up the artillery and the infantry, and then come back. So this one cannot do non-combat. So these 2 transports, the 3 transports are not being used, and the aircraft carrier and the destroyer are not being used. So these 2, all of the ones over here get non-combat moves, and these ones do not. Alright, so that's going to be the battle. So that's got that all sorted out. There will be no other battles happening from Japan. So let's oh boy. Yeah, they're gonna leave it at that. Alright, let's go to the north and have that combat happen first. Alright, this should be a walkover for Japan. Now I should have said that because now they're gonna roll horribly. They have 1 infantry hitting on 1. They miss, and then they have 2 artillery, 2 infantry, so that's going to be 4 hitting on 2s. And they just needed 1 hit, and they got it. So the Russian Soviet Union troop is going to be taken out there, but do they get retaliation of 1 or 2? They do. Soviets fought bravely, and they each lose a unit. However, Japan has just conquered that territory as well. So it's going to be 1 more up for Japan. We get one other as they spread out everywhere. 1 more up for Japan, 37 to 38. Wow. And 1 down for Soviet Union, 31 down to 30. All right, let's get over to Borneo and see what's going to happen there. All right, a little bit risky for the Japanese to only bring in 1 infantry and 1 artillery, but they've got offshore bombardments. They got 2 aircraft launched off the carrier. I think they can take it. It's just whether the UK is going to roll 2 defense die. I don't know. Let's find out. All right, so we're starting off with the offshore bombardment. They have a cruiser hitting on a 3 or less. There's 1 hit. So, and the battleship hitting on a 4 or less. There's our 2 hits. So, and then the infantry artillery. So that would be 2 hits, and the 2 aircraft, which they didn't need. So they actually got 3 hits to take out the 2 British troops. Now, it's all up to the British defense, hitting on 1s or 2s. I love it. Okay, well, it's So the UK is knocked off Borneo. However, they do get 2 hits against the Japanese. And the Japanese, sadly, are going to take, and they're going to lose one of their aircraft, which they didn't want to do, but they've replaced it, so it is what it is. And they'll lose the infantry as the second unit, but they will capture Borneo because they do have an artillery sitting there. All right, that's all good. So that's going to be 4 up for Japan as I crash into things. Let me get another token out here. Where's the Japanese token? I saw one here a second ago. There it is. So 4 up for Japan. They're going to go from 38 to 42, and 4 down for the UK, 36 down to 32. So nicely done for Japan there at Borneo. And now it is time for non-combat moves. Okay, lots of non-combat moves. All of these can do non-combat moves, which is good. So, what are we going to do? Yes, we're going to move the 2 transports, are going to go 1 here, pick up the 4 infantry, and then move 1 here and drop the 4 infantry off in the Italian-owned, are we seeing any of that? I hope so. The Italian-owned India. Alright, that's that. We're going to take the destroyer, is also going to go over here. Is it going to go over here? Yeah. Alright, and now we've got some other things to do. Actually, we're going to have the carrier move in with the destroyer and the 2 transports there. And then we will have this aircraft flying. It's going to go it's going to land back on the carrier. So I'm just going to do that right now so I don't forget. Okay, these guys are locked down. They can't go anywhere. Is that how we want to play this? Yeah, I think so. Alright, we've got 3 other transports that can also move. Alright, and the 3 transports are going to go 1, 2. They're going to load up all of these units and ferry them across here into this location. So they can take 6. There we go. So the 3 transports drop all those guys off on the mainland. A bunch more Japanese troops possibly on the way. Okay, I think that's all of the non-combat moves. I believe it is. Yes, that's all non-combats. So now it's time to place units down where we want them. Alright, and Japan can place 2 units down in Burma because they have a factory there. They're going to put aircraft down there and a armored unit. Alright, so now they have another fighter aircraft and an armored unit there, and the rest will go down Tokyo Harbor. And the other troops are going to be putting 2 infantry down on Japan itself. The newly constructed aircraft carrier, yes, can take the 2 fighters that were sitting on Japan, and they can go right on there. So now we have Japan has 2 fully loaded aircraft carriers, 3 transports, and everything's looking pretty good for them. They retook Borneo. Alright, wow! And Japan's going to be getting 42 IPCs. Nicely done, tied with the US production now, which is actually pretty incredible. Alright, we're going to zoom the camera out and we're going to wrap up our episode for today. Alright, another pretty darn good turn for Japan. However, they're looking a little bit thinned out. So we'll see how things progress on future turns. But up tomorrow, the UK, and oh man, do they have a lot of transports. They got 5 transports, 2 cruisers, a battleship, a couple of bombers. You wonder what they're going to do. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes. This is Axis Now as the anniversary edition. We're playing to the bitter end, which could be 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 episodes. I don't know, but we're gonna go right until it becomes obvious. So thanks so much. I hope to see you tomorrow for the continuation with the United Kingdom.